What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to go over my top 5 ranked mistakes I see while playing Rainbow Six Siege. I've played it all from casual to ranked to even competitive Siege for over a year now, and thought with the new season upon us, what better time than to provide you guys with mistakes you might be making in Rainbow Six Siege. I will be giving you the 5 mistakes and ways to fix them, so make sure to watch till the end of the video to hear all the mistakes that you might be making. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload. Now let's jump into it. The first mistake I see is most common in solo, duo, and 3-player squads, and that is communication with your other team members. I'm a player that as soon as I hop into a game, I try to say hello, see who has a mic and who might not be talking. This is because in ranked, you need to tell each other where you die, where the enemies may or may not be, or just creating a strategy in general. Siege is an intel game first and a shooter second. This means while you drone, review cams, or die, you need to let your teammates know where you died as best as you can, who killed you, and any other information that you think would be necessary. Too many times in ranked, I don't see people using their mic. And I know with the current trends in the market, most headphones, gaming or not, have a microphone on them. So most people are either nervous or just not wanting to talk. And in order to see success, you have to be willing to take that extra step. Even if it's just calling out where enemies are, taking that extra step will allow you and your teammates to get more kills and win more rounds. Communication is key when it comes to a game like Siege, and it can make or break a round. We know this because of how powerful 5-secking is in Siege. This is because normally those guys are in a party chat or Discord call, talking to each other all the time, giving their teammates all the information they need to know, and making callouts so they have a higher chance of winning the round, and thus winning the game. Communication is one of those things that you have to work on, but this really leads into our next tips, which is if you really want to climb faster, you need to find people to play with. Now you might be thinking, oh, but my friends don't play this game, or I never have people to play with, and what I say to that is you have to take the extra step to find people to play with. You need to either use a team finder, Discord channel, or people in ranked who are wanting to win and add them. You can do this just by adding people you play with, and if someone impresses you or has good communication, add them. Give them a chance, and then worst comes to worst, you just never play with them again. But taking that extra person, someone that you think you can rely on, taking that extra step will allow you to see more success during your ranked games. I know as a mostly solo player, this can be hard, but these first 2 mistakes are really the groundwork you need in order to instantly win more games this season. While I say these mistakes are the first 2 that hold a lot of people back from getting better or just winning more games, when you play solo, you tend to rely on yourself, and if you're having a bad game, it becomes even harder to win. This is where the teammates come in. They are there to be your crutch. If you can't carry, or if you're just having an off game, they will be there to pick up the slack that you have. Now, I won't say that you should never solo queue, but it is a lot harder to come by and to find that team in solo queue whenever you're doing it. So find and make some friends this season, work together, and keep adding people. Don't just find 5 people and then be done. Keep adding people, grind out those ranked playlists with 3 to 5 people, and I guarantee you will reach a higher rank than before. My next mistake I see in ranked is playing too passive during the rounds. You need to play passive at times and play the cock during some rounds, but as a whole, you need to get in there and make stuff happen. This can be tied to solo or squad play, of course. While solo, this is much more important, as I said before. You are the only person you can rely on. However, there is a time and place for each playstyle, and too many times I see people playing too passively, especially on attack. As an attacker, you need to drone, make the callouts, then execute. Whether you win the gunfight or not, you're setting your team up with an easy kill to refrag, or you're just gonna make something happen because you end up getting that frag. In ranked, the attackers always seem to wait for the defenders to make the mistake. But you are attacking, thus you need to make the defenders react. Again, this mistake is a little bit more situational, but you need to keep it in mind when playing ranked. It'll make your attack and defensive rounds go a lot more smoothly. My 4th tip is one that applies to a lot of players who are looking to reach platinum rank, whether you're gold, silver, bronze, or even copper. This mistake is not gathering enough intel in the prep phase or throughout the round. Like I said before, Siege is an intel game first and a shooter second. That means that you actually have to gather that intel. Now, this is very apparent on attack or defense. It may seem more intuitive on attack as you can drone out and actively siege that intel, but on defense, you need to be reviewing those default cams or looking at Vault cams or Echo drones to know where those enemies are coming from and where they're trying to push. The number one thing I can say right off the bat is people not viewing the outside cams on defense right whenever the round begins. This is something I try to do whenever I roam to the appropriate side of the map. Being able to briefly see which operators the enemy has and where people are spawned is the easiest way to get more kills, as you can see where the enemies are trying to enter from. As for attack, usually using your second drone and saving your prep drone are the two things I notice way too much in ranked that people do incorrectly. With game knowledge, you should or could be learning what sites are going to be picked and when. There's no reason then to throw your drone away and keep it to drone out the building later. Again, this is something I see a lot more in the lower ranks, but this is a simple mistake to fix. Save your drone, maybe near where you're trying to enter the building, and use your second drone for more intel afterwards. I would like to reiterate what I said earlier though. This intel that you gathered will be useless unless you fix that first mistake first. Communicate with your team. You don't have to ping the operators, just call them out. Call out the ones that are important and where they might be located at or where they're sitting to help your teammates throughout the round. Our final mistake is one I see a lot during the beginning of a season, and that is not taking breaks when you're tired, hungry, or tilted. There are many factors I didn't list there, but you need to almost be in a zen state when you're playing ranked. You need to take breaks and leave the game for a bit and then come back with that fresh mindset. During the beginning of the season, when a lot of people rush to complete their placement matches, they just go right in ranked and just keep doing those 10 games all in a row. But if you have a bad game or have been playing for a while, it works in your favor to step away, go outside for a quick walk, or get some food, or rest and watch some TV. Having this reset period allows you and your brain to relax and then come back to Siege in an even better mood. This will help all aspects of your game, from aiming to decision making to just having fun while playing the game. There are times where I'll join a game and the player says, I have lost the last 4 games in a row. Are we going to make it a 5th? This player is not going to be playing their best because they have had a negative experience in their last games. Taking breaks is needed and will actually help you learn faster and improve more at the games you play. Also, nobody wants to play while they're not having fun. If you're not in the mood or not having fun or concentrating on something else, you will not be giving Siege your full attention, which means that you will not be performing at the best you could be. Doing all this will lead to more lost fights, rounds, and games in total. Well, those are the mistakes I see most often in Rainbow Six Siege Ranked. Let me know in the comments below if you're making any of these mistakes, or if you have any other mistakes that you commonly see. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this in the future, and let me know if there's any videos you'd like me to go more in depth in. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.